Welcome everybody to New York City InfraGard. And good morning everybody, and welcome to New York City InfraGard. This is our InfraGard series on fraud, focusing on the small to medium-sized business industry here in New York City and the greater outskirts. We have with us today Eleanor Spring, who is a certified fraud examiner and has been with us for a while now. All right, and Eleanor is the principal in Spring Action Fraud Elimination, SAFE. So if you've got any fraud needs, please do contact her. All right, today we're going to be talking to Eleanor, and let me just bring her into focus here on the camera. And, oops, there we go. Hello, Eleanor. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Joe. I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, I'm going to just turn down the house music a little bit here, and I'll eventually turn it all off as we go forward. Eleanor, you're going to be giving us some information today on fraud in the small to medium-sized workplace, and this is a series where, of course, you know, small business owners lost approximately $8 billion to fraud in 2010 and 2011. Those are some incredible statistics that you're giving us.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, all right. And mainly related to hacked credit cards and bank accounts, huh?
Correct.
Well, that's absolutely incredible. Of that $8 billion, Eleanor tells us some $5.43 billion was out-of-pocket expenses incurred due to fraud, including the loss of businesses, fraud investigation fees, legal fees, and insurance payments. Payouts, I should say. All right, Eleanor, why don't you start with, you know, what do we know about the case of no internal controls? Sounds juicy.
They all get juicy at times, Joe. This particular case I was working on, my IT guy called me in. He was an IT guy for this company. He found out they were a victim of employee theft, occupational fraud. So I got called in on the job. And the owner of this business, a small business, roughly 25, 35 employees, very close-knit company, very friendly with all the employees. The owner of the business made it an effort to make the employees like family members, treated them very, very well, paid them very, very well. His thought behind it was, if I treat them like family, they'll be good to me and we'll have a wonderful business going. And this business owner started his business in a room of his home. Very small, but he grew over time. When I met him, he had roughly 25 to 35 employees. He hired an employee in 2008, a woman who was the accounts receivable person, the accounts payable person, the payroll person. She basically was the controller and she ran everything. From what I examined, what happened was she started in 2008. You saw an occasional theft of a few funds here and there. I mean, still employee theft, but on a very, very mild case. She got away with this, and as time went on, she got braver and braver. This particular company had an average of about $300,000 in income coming in each month. So they were doing pretty well for themselves. But what happened was, as time went on, they were behind on their bank accounts. They were getting hit with late fees. The bills were not getting paid on time. All kinds of stuff was going on there. And when I was called in, I interviewed the owner of the business. I interviewed the managers of the business. I interviewed other employees of the business to kind of get a sense of what was going on, who knew what. And as it turned out, everyone in the business was suspicious, but they didn't want to, they were too afraid to talk about it. So they kind of just let it go. And they all were suspicious. They all had a sense this woman was up to something, but nobody wanted to do anything about it. When I met with the business owner to go over everything that was going on, he was making excuses for this employee. Well, you know, she has a sister who is kind of wealthy, and I guess she wanted to keep up with her sister, and things like that. They had a Christmas party. This woman was sitting in the office shredding papers, and everyone saw it, and everyone knew what was going on, but nobody made an effort to investigate to find out what was going on.
This sounds like a real horror story, Eleanor, and we're gonna continue with Eleanor Spring just right after this short commercial. We'll be back in about 15 seconds, all right? Just stand by, folks, and we'll be right back with you.